Marcus Aurelius, Meditations, Episode 7. Zeta prime. Para rusticu ta laben fantasian tu chrezein diorthoseos kai therapeas tu ethus, kai ta me ektrapenai es zelon sophistikon, mede ta sungraphen peri ton theorematon, e protreptica logaria dialegestai, e fantasio pleiktos ton asketikon, e ton energetikon andra epideknusthai. From Rusticus, and this would be spelled like this in Latin characters, it is after all a Latin name, Rusticus, I received, we are understanding the aorist of the verb dechomai, which would be edexamen, or the aorist of the verb monthano, the former meaning to receive and monthano meaning to learn. So from Rusticus, I received the reception of the impression, talabein fantasian. Talabein is an articular infinitive, it's a noun, and fantasia is an impression or an intuition, some sort of mental representation. It is a technical term in Stoic philosophy. I received the recognition of the impression tu chrezein. Here is another articular infinitive with a genitive, and this is the verb chrezo, the omega verb chrezo, which means to stand in need of or to lack. So putting it together, from Rusticus, I received the recognition of the impression that there was a need to chrezein for the diorthoseos. Chrezo here goes with the genitive, so diorthoseos and therapeas are both genitive. For the correction, the straightening out, diorthoseos, and the remediation or the healing, therapeia. The English word therapy, of course, comes from this. So the correcting and the medicating of my character, tu ethus, also in the genitive, this being an objective genitive. And secondly, kai, here is something else that was received, another articular infinitive, that there is not to be a turning aside, me ektrapenai. Ektrapenai is the aorist passive infinitive of the verb ektrepo, which means to turn aside or to divert, that there must not be a turning aside, that one ought not to be turned aside toward es zelon sophistikon, toward sophistic jealousy or envy. Some translations have this as emulation. The idea is that he ought not to be jealous of sophistic practice or try to rival the sophists in their logic, in their dialectic, etc. Nor, mede, here's something else that he received, ta sungraphen, the writing upon, this articular infinitive, mede, and I received from him that there ought not to be a writing periton theorematon. Peri with the genitive here is very close in meaning to de plus the ablative in Latin, so concerning or about. Ton theorematon are speculative matters. This is from the verb theoreo, which gives us the English word theory. It's an epsilon contract, and it means to look into something, to examine or to study. So not to write about speculative matters, or, this is something else he learned, that he should not, mede, he should not dialegesthai, deliver. This is a middle verb, and I know that because it has a middle or passive ending, specifically middle because it has an object. Passive verbs do not have objects. Logaria is the neuter, plural, and accusative of the diminutive noun logarion. Logarion means a little speech, and protreptica means of or relating to, persuasion, protreptic, so not to deliver persuasive little speeches. Or, finally, epideknusthai, to display myself as one. Epideknusthai is the infinitive of the me verb, or the pneumi verb, epideknumi, which means to put on a display, epideknumi, or to put on a display, fantasio pleiktos, This is an adverb. We can tell by the os ending. An adverb built on the adjective fantasio pleiktos. It means to do so in a showy or representational fashion. As being ton asketikon andra, as being a man of self-denial, that is, an ascetic man, or being a man who is energetikon. That means doing good works. Rusticus taught him all these things.